Good evening and welcome. I am Amarachi Upani. Tonight, FCT Police Command parades the 4 suspects arrested in failed bank robbery in Abuja on Saturday. Suspects, including bank staff, make confessional statements. Policemen surround property belonging to the family of former Senate President Bukola Saraki in Ilorin, Kwara State after state lawmakers debate prompt calls for the executive to seize it. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission arrests former Senator Shehu Sani for alleged extortion of suspects and name-dropping. And New Zealand and Australia among several countries that have already ushered in the new year 2020.
On business news tonight, Nigeria's stock market ends the year positive as investors gain more than 112 billion naira on the last trading day of 2019.
And on sports news, Everton manager Carlo Ancelotti planning talks with the club's hierarchy to discuss potential January signings.
And from Abuja, African Development Bank President Akinwumi Adesina backs use of pension fund to bridge Africa's infrastructure gap during meeting with President Buhari.
More confessional statements are coming from the 4 suspects arrested during the failed bank robbery in Abuja on Saturday. One of the suspects was a staff of the bank, Mr. Larry Ehizo, told journalists of the FCT Police Command that he drove the robbers into the bank premises and disconnected the CCTV cameras to ensure a safe robbery operation. He also claims to have played his role under duress.
On Saturday, December the 28th, a joint security operation led by the FCT Commissioner of Police foiled a robbery attack on one of the first-generation banks in the Pape area of Abuja. 4 of the suspects were arrested and another killed in a shootout with the police. 3 days after that incident, the FCT Police Command is parading these 27 armed robbery suspects.
But there was an incident of an attempted bank robbery on Saturday in Pape. We quickly mobilized, cordoned the place, and were able to arrest alive 4 suspects out of the 5 that went for that particular operation. 1 died as a result of gunshot wound. Nothing was lost because we were able to nip the operation in the bud.
Among the 27 persons paraded are suspected kidnappers, armed robbers, and 1 chance suspects. Also being paraded are the 4 bank robbers, which include a staff of the bank. They speak about the various roles they played.
I took them in, which was a role and instruction that was given by the said Ernest. He insisted I had a meeting with them, and he said I should bring them in. I should bring them in, and they will take over from there.
What was
for 2 years plus.
And how long have you been working with the NS you're calling?
I've not worked with him. He's a customer in the bank. He comes to the bank, and that was where we got to know each other because I work in customer service and I treat requests. So that's when I got to know. And when there's a place I went to drink. I used to go and drink there, and that was where he works.
Okay, what I know about this bank robbery was that as of 23rd of this month. 22nd of December, when Mr. Ernest told me that he came to me. Mr. Ernest came to me while I was coming back from work. So he told me that there's a job somewhere. I asked what kind of job. He said he's going to... Mr. Ernest, a guy that works somewhere in a bar. So he told me that there's a work somewhere for us to do. I said, what kind of work is that? I said, I should not worry. He's going to connect us to this person. So that was on 24th. It was on Tuesday last week. So when he called me that the person has arrived, that's Mr. Larry here. So I went to Mr. Larry. He now told us that there's a deal going on that he wants us to handle.
In the outgoing year alone, The FCT Police Command says it has arrested a total of 985 suspects, which include 210 armed robbery suspects as well as 29 kidnapping suspects. It also claims to have recovered 88 firearms from the suspects.
Meanwhile, policemen have surrounded a property belonging to the family of the former Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital. The property has in recent days been a subject of controversy between the former Senate President and the current Kwara State government. The matter has also triggered political arguments between the leadership of the People's Democratic Party in Kwara and the state government.
But we should face the issue. What are the issues? Was this land properly acquired? Who was this land allocated to? Was it allocated to any particular politician? The answer is no. That land, if you check the allocation, the paper allocating that land, it was allocated to a private firm. And that firm is not officially linked to any official. So people will always say things. They will always throw allegations here and there. But what we deal with are the facts of the matter. And what are the facts? That land was allocated to a private firm. That firm never paid a kobo, and no certificate of occupancy was ever issued.
What concerns the House of Assembly about Iliarubo, because it's owned by the Saraki family, you want to take it away? What is the meaning of that? If the land has been allocated to the Saraki family whatever way, if it has been there for over 30 years, what am I saying? Maybe even 40 years, it has been there. If it was done wrongly, the executive governor of the state can look at it and say, look, distinguished Senator Saraki, you are governor. This thing is wrong. Please go and regularize. Go and regularize the process of taking it. What does it? What they want to cause confusion for themselves.
Meanwhile, in reaction to the state government's decision to take over the ancestral land of the former Senate President, Bukola Saraki, a group of women have stormed the streets of Ilorin, the state capital, to protest against the move. The women, who claim that the family is their benefactor, are appealing to the state government to rethink their action in the interest of peace. The Kwara State House of Assembly had passed a resolution handing over the Iliarubo ancestral home of the Sarakis to the state government after their investigation revealed the land was illegally acquired.
Saraki ń bẹ láyé kò mọ léwé kò mọ náwó ẹ máa ṣàánú wa ni bàbá lè ruwọ́dé nílùú èbó yọ̀nà lérí wa ìran wa ní mẹ́kàsì kọ́lé lára rẹ̀ kò mẹ́yẹ tó sú wa Saraki wá kú tán anikọ́lá Saraki ń bẹ lérí ààrẹ oní Bukola má gbàgbé àyà mi Saraki Bukola wa náà wá dáhùn yí pé ní ntí ìyá àwọn wí tí bàbá àwọn wí òun ò ní gbàgbé rẹ̀ bàbá ní kó o mọ́ fún àyálẹ̀ o kò mọ atúnlálà rẹ̀ pé kò mọ fún àyálẹ̀ o Bukola gba tọrọ lọ́wọ́ wa kò gba kọ́bọ̀ lọ́wọ́ wa kò mẹyẹ tó sú wa ntí bàbá rẹ̀ ní ó ṣe ní ṣe ń fún ajẹ ni ó fún alóúnjẹ láwẹ̀ ó fún alóúnjẹ ńléyà ó fún alóúnjẹ níjọ́ mẹ́jọ jọ́ mẹ́ẹ̀ẹ́dógún bó bá ti tìlú èbódì àwa náà ní ná fún.
The Katsina State Police Command says it has arrested a total of 1,907 suspected criminals in connection with the 1,519 reported cases in the last 10 months. State Police Commissioner Sanusi Buba disclosed this on Tuesday during his end-of-year press conference at the command headquarters in Katsina State. He says a total of 1,256 arrested suspects are currently undergoing prosecution in various competent courts of law in the state, and that a total of 8 rustlers were killed, 44 arrested, while 5 were severely injured in several battles. He, however, warned unrepentant bandits and their collaborators to either accept the peace initiative of the government or be dealt with according to extant laws of the land.
The command has been recording tremendous successes in the fight against the menace of cattle rustling, armed robbery, kidnapping, banditry, and other forms of criminality in the most affected 8 frontline local government areas. The giant stride has by no means brought about peace in the affected communities. It is absolutely imperative at this juncture to warn that unrepentant bandits and other collaborators of criminals or their informers should either accept the peace initiative of government or be prepared to face the dire consequences.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has arrested a former senator representing Kaduna Central Senatorial District, Shehu Sani, for alleged extortion and name-dropping. A statement by the anti-graft agency says the former lawmaker was arrested for allegedly using the name of the acting chairman of the EFCC, Mr. Ibrahim Magu, to extort various sums of money from a businessman. The statement adds the EFCC operators are quizzing him over allegations of scamming some people and dropping the name of the EFCC boss before suspects who have cases with the commission. Mr. Sani was said to have extorted $20,000 from a popular Kaduna car dealer. Associates of the former lawmaker, however, attribute the arrest to an attempt by some politicians to smear his name. Meanwhile, the bail former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mohammed Adoke, who is already in EFCC custody, has suffered a setback with his bail in the quest to regain his freedom. Mr. Adoke's bail application could not be entertained today after the vacation judge, Justice Othman Musa, returned the case file to the Chief Judge of the FCT for reassignment. The return of the case file is predicated on the inability of the judge to conclude the hearing of the bail application, as the counsel representing the former AGF applied for an adjournment to enable him respond to the counter affidavit filed by the EFCC. Mr. Adoke is being investigated alongside other suspects over the $1.09 billion Malibu oil block deal.
Our position was that there is a pending court order remanding him with the EFCC. It has not expired. We also held the position that under the circumstances and in view of additional facts, bail ought not to be granted under the circumstances. The Honorable Court, in its ruling, decided that upon the expiration of the remand order of the court, which expires on the 2nd of January, this court, the vacation court, would remit the case file back to the Chief Judge of the FCT for the purpose of the Chief Judge sending the case file back to the original court where there are pending criminal charges. So the effect is that he will continue to remain with us, we'll continue to interview him, we'll continue to investigate the matter.
In part two after the break, the African Development Bank President, Akinwumi Adesina, backs use of pension funds to bridge Africa's infrastructure gap during a meeting with President Buhari. Stay with us.